NWSL Matchday 3, Gotham versus Houston Dash in the Shell Stadium. Unfortunately today ended in a 0-0 result, with both teams unable to capitalise on the few chances they had. After the game we spoke to Maggie, midfielder for Houston Dash. Here's what she had to say.
I feel like it was a really transitional game. I think the game got super spread. I think the way Gotham plays is they like to have rotations. They kind of spread out around the field, and we were kind of letting them do what they wanted to do and go around.
Yeah.
So I think what we kind of talked about at halftime was just making sure we were like doing our press correctly, forcing them into the spaces they didn't want to be in. And I think we did do better in the second half, but we still just kept it super transitional. Like when we won the ball, we didn't keep it very well. So I think just moving forward, that's going to be something that we'll probably focus on and try to harp on when we have a game that's super transitional. Once we get the ball, we need to keep it, we need to connect passes, and I think moving forward, if we can do that, we'll be a lot more competitive.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that, Gotham had a lot of the possession, we're finding gaps, maybe disorganising you guys, but then I did see that you were forcing them to the outside, not letting them through the centre, which was good.
Yeah.
And then at one point you were in a mid-block, I saw that, so how did you adapt to them, getting through your press at times? Was the mid-block it, or...?
I think part of it was just connecting our 9 and our 10 back a little bit more so they couldn't play into their 6, so they were sitting a little bit lower and we were letting our 7 and our 11 kind of start the press, and I think that kind of transitioned more into a mid-block.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what that looked like, but I think moving forward we're definitely going to want to continue to high press and stuff like that, but in that game I think that's just what worked best.
Next we spoke to Jess, former Chelsea player and England national team player. Here's what she had to say about the contrast between European soccer and US soccer and how she's been able to adapt to it. I just want to ask you about the game. You guys did a great job at keeping possession, keeping your composure, finding those gaps and disorganising the other team. How do you feel you did today? Was there anything else that you guys wanted to achieve, or do you think you did a good job today?
Yeah, I think we're obviously disappointed to not come away with 3 points, but for all of the possession or limiting of chances that we did for them, we also didn't create many clear-cut chances either. I don't think their keeper had to really make any saves. So that's something that obviously we need to really build on going forward. We've tried to focus on staying defensively solid, and obviously we did today. We nullified them, but that's not enough to win games, and we've got to try and figure out how to make it click, and that's not just our forward line, that's all of us contributing to making the most clearest chances, I guess.
Yes. Okay, great. I also want to ask you about how you've adapted to soccer in the US rather than in European soccer. How's that been for you? Any difficulties or anything?
Yeah, very hard. Everyone's just, there's like athletes and then there's Americans. They're a different breed, and I think that's been something that's been really challenging for me. Having to adapt my game and try and change it to playing against players that are much more superior than me athletically has been a real challenge, but one that's been really exciting. It's had to bring new levels to my game, and obviously I came towards the end of last season, so I'm still trying to understand everything and play the best football I can, but I think I've not got off to a bad start. I'm just hoping to build on it, and I guess the longer I'm here, the more I'll learn. Yeah.
And are you trying to bring any sort of European tactics into the game? Because it's different over there, and how have you found that, bringing your game into American soccer?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. I think for me, I had to learn what football's like here and adapt into the personnel that I now play with here. It's very different to Chelsea, so trying to understand my teammates, what everyone can do, their strengths or weaknesses, and trying to figure out a way to play with that. And I think we speak openly about the best way we can perform and to get the best out of the team, but ultimately that's the manager's decision, and we just try to deliver the game plans that he puts in, really.
Gotham hasn't been able to get a win this season. We spoke to Nealy Martin, a defender, and she told us about how they're a new group and it will all come with time.
No, I think, on the ball we were really good. We had some great build-ups. It's another game for us to build on. Just in the opponent's 18, we need to be more ruthless in the box, but that'll come with time, and, it's a brand new group, so we're just looking to build off of this performance.
And how did you find, you did a great job at finding those gaps in between the midfield, the Dash didn't have much room to do that. Is that something you've worked on in training, in the game plan? Did that succeed for you guys?
Yeah, I think, we knew they played a box in the middle, and we wanted to exploit those gaps, and with our rotations, we were able to do that throughout the whole game. So just credit to our team for, executing the game plan well.
Is there anything else you wanted to achieve in today's game apart from a goal?
Always a win. That's what we're going for. It takes time though, and it's our first clean sheet of the season, so that's a positive we're taking away.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Next up for the Houston Dash is Angel City right here at home, and Gotham receives North Carolina Courage. My name's Lauren Pickup. Until next time.